This week on This Too Shall Pass. So this is what I've been saying. Hey, sweep my floor. Oh, why I gotta sweep it, bruh? Why I gotta pick it up, bruh? You don't see nobody else in here, bruh? Give me your phone. That's where we are. Do what mother said asked you to do, which is a simple chore of sweeping the floor because I didn't drop all that cereal down there. Or B, you can give me your phone and we can both move on. Welcome to the This Too Shall Pass podcast. Trust me, I know life can be. This is an inclusive space for our stories and lessons to be heard and learned from without judgment, because this too shall pass. Hi guys, welcome back to This Too Shall Pass. If you are new here, I'm your host. My name is Ariel, and I'm happy you're with us. Something I do at the beginning of all of my episodes is ask you, how have you been? This is a question that I feel like I wasn't asked enough throughout my life every day, especially living with 5 kids. So I'm going to start off by asking, how are you? And if you are new here, welcome. I love you. I'm happy to see you here. And if you've been here for a while, hi, howdy, hola, happy you're back. If you are new here, again, you can find us on all streaming platforms, whether that is Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We do have a Instagram page, This Too Shall Pass, and we do also have a cell phone number where you can call in and ask questions, impromptu questions or situational questions, and we'd love to hear from you. The best way to reach us if you are calling in for the podcast is 321-300-6082. So this episode, we are going to do a catch-up, a tell-all of what's been going on. Just about me, life, catching up. I encourage you to do so in the comments. Let me know where you are in life. What's changed for you? Quarter 1 of this year is over. How are you doing with your goals? But before we jump into this episode, I'm going to start off with a segment that we call Her Voice, Her Story. And this is where I shout out someone that I feel like is influential, usually in the female space that's doing good work. So let me grab my person for today. If I butcher this name, I am so sorry. Asiki Bonaire. Instagram handle is ASEKYB. She is a Black mom, married wife. She has 4 kids. I believe they are local to where I am as well, Orlando, Florida. I love her page. She does everything mom life, beauty, health, and wellness. She spreads a lot of love and influential gospel about what's going on. She also does a lot of trips with her kids, Orlando native. I just love her page. If I ever am like feeling down or I need a little bit of inspiration, I love tipping on her page, looking around. That is her voice, her story for this episode. Again, Asiki Bonaire. Might have butchered that. I am sorry. The love is there. Instagram handle is ASEKYB. Great page. Check her out if you have some time. I'm also going to do a shout out from Apple Podcast reviews. Text is small. Here we go. You are needed. I've been following you on IG for a few months now, and I love your content. You are such a trailblazer, and I do not know you, and you do not know me, but I see you. I absolutely love what you are doing. This podcast is incredible, and you definitely have a lifetime follower. That is so sweet. I'm guessing it's her. Her handle is lady720. I really appreciate you. I love you. I see you. Being a trailblazer and open in this space is still a weird or kind of cocky word for me to say. I feel like I just started this to shed some light or give a voice to my situation in my life. I didn't know that I was going to build such a large following, and I do love you all, and I appreciate you. If you would ever want to be shouted out here on This Too Shall Pass, leave us a comment. We do review them all, and I love you. Thank you so much. Her handle again, or her username again on Apple Podcasts was lady720. So I appreciate you. Alrighty. On today's episode, we are just doing a catch up. So we're going to catch up from here and where we've been. Quarter 1 is over. Some things that I have checked off my bucket list for goals for this year is putting myself back out there a little bit more. And I have completely stopped vaping. Let's give a round of applause for that because that was super hard for me to do. I attempted to stop in January, but I completely decided just to go cold turkey January 5th. And I have not vaped since. I haven't bought any more. I haven't swung by. I would be lying if I told you I don't think about it, or when life gets stressful, I'm just not like, whew, just need one puff. But for right now, I'm doing good. And yeah, I've completely stopped vaping. Something else that's new kids wise. Again, if you're new here, single mom of 5. I have 2 teens, 1 preteen, an elementary schooler, and a preschooler. So we just have it all in my house, all the way around the circle. Something that's hard right now for me and my kids is discipline. Like, we're really struggling at home. I do raise my kids to use their own voice, and they can vocalize however, as long as it's not disrespectful or cursing at me. They can vocalize however they feel, happy, sad, or indifferent, however they want to when the moment comes up. But damn it, it's hard. I feel like breaking generational curses is something we just clap for and put on a t-shirt and think, oh, you're doing such a great thing. But actually, I do think it is easier to slap your kids in the mouth and they just be quiet. It is. It's a lot easier than asking them, hey, why are you yelling in the middle of Walmart and everyone is staring at us? It would be easier to pinch them or slap them in the mouth and then they be quiet. I'm not that type of mom, and I am trying to do better, but boy, it is hard. The talking back, the constant opinions, well, that's not what you said yesterday, or just them bickering back and forth is literally going to drive me to drink. I go in my room and I lock my door and I say a little prayer all the time because I'm just like, how are we going to make it through? The hormones are on a rise. Some kids, they just don't want to do a lot, but they still want to keep their pressure and their foot on me to be the mother that I am and continuously run and pay and go ragged for them. But we're in the season that I'm really trying to emphasize teamwork. We all live here. We're all going to contribute. And there are plenty of days that I don't feel like, being a mom is a choice. So there are some mornings where I'm just like, wow, I don't want to move, or I don't want to cook dinner, or I don't want to go to work. So I'm really just trying to let them know that I'm human too. And just like sometimes they need a break, so do I. And we just have to work together to keep this train moving because we are all bumping heads at home. I thought I bought a big enough car, but when everyone's fighting, it is not large enough. So that is the new thing with the kids. We are bumping heads and we are pushing boundaries, which is what kids are supposed to do. So it's just my job as a mom in this season to stay steadfast and stern on my rules. And we're going through the phase. I didn't understand it until I was a mom, but we're definitely going through the phase of, I love my kids, but I may not like you today, or I may not like you in this situation, but I love you. I hope that even makes sense at all. If we're talking what's new with employment, I think a couple of episodes back, I talked to you guys about my first work from home job, because I worked 2. The first one remote, I was like having some issues with my manager and bumping heads with her. That is all subsided. That is actually going fine. She's actually freakishly nice to me now since I reported her to HR. But the extra job that I had added on, because I work 2 jobs, that extra job was only, it wasn't temporary, but for me it was, if that makes sense. Like, I knew the type of woman that I am, type of mom that I am, the schedule that I have. I cannot work 2 jobs forever. This isn't something indefinite that I could always do. So I knew that if I added on a second job, I'd do it for maybe 6 months and let it go and keep my original job and then see how that goes with my budget or see how that goes with expenses. We are in a new place. We've only been there since November, so it's been about 6 months. And I'm just trying to give myself as much cushion as I can while I can. But I know working 2 jobs for me just doesn't work long term. I'm exhausted. So yeah, with that being said, I'm working 1 job right now. So I am working the job with the boss that gave me a little bit of a headache, but I've been with them the longest. But the new job that I added on, they put us all on a group call and we're like, yeah, this department we don't need right now. And I'm just like, in my head, I was kind of like, oh shit, could have gave us a little bit of a warning. But also at the same time, I was like, wow, I'm going to clock off and go take a nap because I barely wanted to be here anyways. So yeah, I'm back to working 1 job instead of 2. And this was literally as of maybe 48 hours ago. So you're not that far behind. I was really just using this second job as a cushion, throwing money in my high yield savings account. I get paid out good dividends on my high yield savings account. I use I'll put the bank in the show notes. I don't even remember the name of it right now. But if you're not putting your money in a high yield savings account in 2024, like if you don't really need it today, I would throw it in the high yield savings account. A lot of these banks are paying really good dividends, 5.5. I haven't seen a 6%, but I've seen them high in the fives, and you get paid out every month, no problem. And it's way better than your traditional savings account where you got like 0.01% every month on interest on your own money. I'm earning a little bit over $600 every month just to leave my money sitting. Long term, I just want to use it to buy a house. But for right now, it's going to sit. So that's all my second job's money was going towards, savings. So yeah, that's all that really happened with that job and where the money from that job was really going. Anything new family-wise? No. It's just still me and my kids. I have stepped out there. I created a Hinge account and I did a Facebook dating. If you didn't know, Facebook has datings. If you go to settings on like the 3 tabs on the corner and drop down, there's like a heart on Facebook and you can do a dating on Facebook.
There might be somebody listening. There are people like me who do not have Facebook dating. For whatever reason, it doesn't work.
It's not on your account at all?
We've all tried to get it. They just don't let me in it. So if you are one of me, don't feel left out. There are some of us that don't have Facebook dating, but most people do, and they say some real cute guys there.
I wonder if you don't have it, what you've done. What have you done to piss off the matrix of Facebook that they're like, we do not want this person in the dating pool to procreate?
I don't even use Facebook like that. It's people writing like their whole life stories. No, I don't use Facebook, but for some reason I don't have it. Maybe because it's the business account. I don't know. But I have my personal one too. Whatever. The point is, I just didn't want people to feel left out if they didn't have it, but it's a great option.
Well, for those of you that are not left out, there is now an option for some of America to do Facebook dating. Have I met anyone in person? No. Have I been going out though with my sister? Yes. The dating scene here is just trash to me. That's how I feel. I don't know if I need to like switch it up and like go somewhere I wouldn't have ever gone, like a lounge, or I just feel like I'd be random though, walking in a random hotel to sit at a random lounge when I live down the street. I don't know, because we are a very touristy location in Orlando. So half the people here, if you meet them in a certain area like theme parks or hotel areas or sometimes even downtown, these people aren't even from here. So it's like, I don't know. And I have not done long distance dating since like the beginning of college. So maybe that's on me, but I've not done that in a while. I met a really cute guy at a gas station a couple weeks ago though. That's pretty much it. But anyone else in person? No. I actually did. He got my number. He called me. It actually wasn't that bad. I don't know where it's going to lead, so I have nothing else to give you besides that.
I have questions.
Okay.
How many times did you guys talk on the phone?
Like on the phone or like FaceTime?
Same thing.
Same thing. It's been about a week, so I'd say 3 times.
Actually, phone call and FaceTime is not the same. You guys had a FaceTime date?
We had a FaceTime conversation, not a date. And I actually don't like FaceTime calls. I don't. I'd really like if someone like text me or let me know in advance because I don't always look put together.
Oh, well, yeah, like not out the blue, but you can schedule a FaceTime date. I've done that before.
Yeah, he definitely called me FaceTime and I declined it. And I lied and said that I was working when I wasn't. I just looked like someone's 80-year-old aunt in a huge moo-moo. My hair was a mess. I'm running around chasing Owen. It was a disaster and I wasn't going to just pick up the phone in my chaos. So I did decline it.
So the calls that you did have, how did those go?
What
did you like? What did you not like?
The only thing that I do not like is how similar his features are to Haley's dad.
Man can't help what he look like.
He can't. But it's like, is it an Usher song that's like, you remind me of a girl that I once knew? That's how I feel. Because I don't even think it'd be appropriate to show you guys a picture, but the similarities is like, wow, did your dad cheat on your mom? Because it's like uncanny. They're from the same area. They grew up in the same town.
Okay, instead of seeing it as a negative, it's more like you have a type.
Yeah, I do have a type. I did hit up Haley's dad though, and I was like, "Hey, do you have a brother or this?" And he laughed, and we have a good. That's probably my only child's father I have a good relationship with. He laughed, I laughed. He said, "No, Ariel, I don't know the nigga, so you're good." I said, "Thumbs up." But he does. He looks a lot like him.
Okay.
The thing that I do like, he brung up God without me having to bring it up.
Okay.
He has children, but they
In
actually.
what sense? That he don't like God, or he do?
No, that he does. And that he goes to a church here in the area. It was around Easter when I bumped into him. So maybe that was just the topic in the air, Jesus. You know, maybe it just fell out of his mouth like that. And I've never dated someone that had kids, usually because they do not raise their kids. And that is kind of, that's a trigger for me. I don't like when people have kids, but you never see them, you never have them, you don't know what they look like, you don't know what size clothes they wear. So it's like, I think that I'd end up being best friends with your baby mama more than you, and it'll just always be a red flag. But his kids actually live with him. So that was a check for me. So that's what I like when I don't like. He has 2 sons.
Okay, so we're looking at
what?
7 altogether.
Oh, God. Yeah, if you put us all in one house.
How old are they?
He has a son that's a little older than Haley, so 15. And then he has a younger son that's 8. So that's right between Terrell and Aaron.
Okay. What is one more thing that you like about him?
He has good communication skills. I feel like sometimes when you meet someone and you're talking to them for the first time, it's dry or it's very awkward. Sometimes it's hard to have a conversation with someone you don't know if it's a lot of like still dead air. I felt like he was a very good conversational person. He was able to bring up topics without just me bringing up all the questions. Yeah, he asked good questions, so I feel like it was all right.
All right, well, sick go doing all right.
It was actually Shell's. Shell's gas station was doing all right that day. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right, so good. This is at least practicing dating.
It is
talking to the male species.
Yes, and I think this was the first time that I just outwardly At first, I used to be very timid or maybe a little embarrassed to say, hey, I'm a divorced mother of 5, just right off the bat. But I was not nervous to say that this time. I feel like I'm very confident in where I'm at. And yeah, I just spilt my business out there and he didn't seem to have an issue with it.
I love that for you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, stop declining the man's calls and call him more often.
Not on FaceTime because I don't always have my face together. If FaceTime had like filters like Instagram, hear me out. I feel like there's some Instagram filters that change how you look, but there are some that just smooth out. If they had like a smoothing FaceTime filter, I think I pick it up more often. But when you have to see like all of me, like my pores and like the pimple I just popped yesterday, I feel like just back it up just a little bit. And I think people will be more inclined to answer FaceTime calls.
I answer like I look like somebody cleaning the bathroom, and I don't even clean the bathrooms.
I feel like if it's personal, if I know them, yeah, my sister I answer her FaceTime. I put my phone on the floor and I'm using the toilet. But when it's someone I'm trying to get to know or don't have that good of a relationship with, yeah, I don't want you to see all of my business in my house. So yeah, I think that's where we are.
So nobody off Hinge?
No one off Hinge. I've talked to some people, but like meeting anyone in person, no. And no one off of the Facebook dating app that half of America does not have.
Might just be me.
Yeah. So that's an update on the kids, where we are, where I am dating wise, where I am working. And yeah, we're just chilling right now. We've made it through a couple of birthdays, TJ and Owen and Andre and me. And then the girls are more so the end of the summer, July and August. So yeah, I did get my kids into summer camp. Clap for me. Because if anyone knew how expensive it is to put kids in summer camp in Orlando, Florida, and pay weekly, I just think people have a misconception that you only pay for childcare before kindergarten. That is so wrong, because school's out at 2. You need someone to watch your kids from 2 to 5, 2 to 6 till you get off work. In the summers, when them damn schools lock their doors and all the teachers are on a yacht, what are you going to do with them kids? I may work from home, but I cannot work from home with all these kids in my house. So This summer, TJ and Aaron are in summer camp, City of Orlando. Love them. They've been great to me and my kids for a long time now. Haley is volunteering to earn high school credits because she is off to ninth grade in September. And Andre is gainfully employed. I mean, W-2 paperwork. I mean, like filing your taxes next year kind of working. So we're gonna see how this is going. And poor Owen, he's gonna be home with me. That is the one child that has no options. Owen goes to Head Start, which is a program for low income that helps you get subsidized assistance. I get it actually because of my domestic violence. That was a program that was offered indefinitely when it happens during a pregnancy through Harbor House, which I've talked about on here for a while, through the Orange County Courthouse. So Head Start for Owen was attached with my domestic violence case when I filed for divorce. So Owen was guaranteed Head Start once he became of age. So he started from 3. He'll go from 3 to 5. Only downside to Head Start is that they run off the school board system. So when the schools close for any break, that can be spring break, Christmas break, those random George Washington days in the summer, his school is closed as well. So they do allow the kids to come for June. They are closed July and half of August. So me and Owen gonna have to find some zoos or some playgrounds or some things to do, but we'll find something to do this summer. All right, so now we are going to go to the phone lines and answer some questions.
We actually have a letter.
Okay, we have a letter.
Do you want to do a mom facing some dilemma with her teenage son about the way she dresses, or another one that has 2 boys, but they're nothing like her?
Let's do the first one.
Okay. This one says, I need your help. I'm facing a bit of a dilemma and I could really use some advice. My teenage son, 12 going on 13, has been urging me to stop wearing makeup and dress in a more frumpy way because he finds it embarrassing that his friends think I'm attractive. I want to respect his feelings, but at the same time, I don't want to compromise my own sense of self. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I dress conservatively and simply put myself together every day. I don't wear anything too flashy or revealing, but I do like to enhance my features with makeup. I've tried to have an open and understanding conversation with my son, acknowledging that his feelings are valid, but also expressing that this is who I am and how I choose to present myself. However, he seems to be struggling with the comments his friends make about me, and he wants me to change my appearance to avoid any further embarrassment. I told him that it's not my fault that his friends make inappropriate remarks and that he shouldn't feel ashamed because of his actions, but he's finding it hard to ignore their comments and feel pressure to conform to their expectations. Ariel, do you have any advice for me? How can I help my son understand that he should not be embarrassed by other people's perceptions of me? And how can I encourage him to feel more confident in himself and now that external options dictate his feelings?
That was great. It's a great question. Love the detail. If you guys can give me questions like that with detail, I love to get a full picture. I have an older son. I am 33. Andre is 16. He's a large 16. I'm talking 6'1", 240. And he has large friends and older friends. I feel like a majority of this issue is puberty. I feel like that's the issue on where we lie. I think his friends being interested in women is just normal. She says she already dresses pretty conservatively. So I wonder if she's shapely. Like, I wonder if she, like, has everything I don't. Like, girl, I would love to, like, send me a picture. I'm a girl's girl, and I love to clap for a pretty woman. I wonder if she is, like, big breast or a nice ass. And maybe it's just some things you can't hide. It doesn't matter how frumpy you are without looking homeless. There's some things you just can't hide. And if you've been the same shapely, beautiful, makeup-wearing mom that I'm sure you have been based on how you've described yourself, then I would not change it. Because baby, if you change it now at 12, what you think his friends at 18 not gonna think women are pretty? You think his friends at 21 when he goes off to college aren't gonna think women are pretty? I would not change it at all. I would use this as a learning tool and opportunity with my son to talk to him more, maybe loop in hormones, maybe loop in. And when he says he doesn't know how to handle the comments from his friends, I wonder if it's like a bullying kind of thing, because maybe they're not his friends. Maybe those aren't his people, because I don't want no friend in my corner that makes me feel so uncomfortable or down about myself. So maybe those aren't his friends. I guess I'd also ask my son, hey, is there a girl at school or camp or on your sports team that you think is beautiful, that you have a crush on? Maybe allow the conversation to be more open and ask him, hey, do you have a crush on anyone? Do you think it would be appropriate for someone to ask your crush to look differently, to dress differently, to speak differently, just because of the people around them? People talking shit and bullying you is never going to change. So sometimes as a mom, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I rather for bullying, teasing, friend conflict, all of that peer pressure shit, I want that to kick in as soon as it can. Because I need to get my kids used to how the world is really going to react. You cannot control what other people say and how they're going to respond. All you can do is control yourself. All you can do is control how you respond to a certain situation. We're going to loop into a story time really quickly, unintentionally, because this actually happened with me and Andre. Andre is larger than me. He has been for a long time, probably since about 12 or 13. We've been like the same height, and then he took off. He left me in the dust. And my son now has 17, 18, and 19-year-old friends. And when I would walk in, spandex shorts and a sweater, I could just have on Crocs and a dress, like regular clothing. I mean, I'm not with a high slit up the leg. I'm not, beat to the gods with a nice bun, like trying to look seductive. I mean, it is end of day, 6 p.m., and I'm just trying to get home and finish dinner. So I do have on kind of like athletic like lounge wear kind of, so it is like spandexy in a sweatshirt. I went into the gym to pick my son up because I had already called and texted him and he did not come to the car, so now I had to walk in. And baby, when he got in the car, he ripped me a new one. Why would you walk in there? Everyone's saying if you were my girlfriend. Everyone then was saying more comments because I said you're my mom and blah, blah, blah. And he did get some sexual innuendo comments. I'm not even going to lie to you. And this is how me and Andre have handled it until his confidence is where it is now, because now Andre is a very good voice. Andre knows how to disassociate. Andre knows how to, what's that word we used to say when we were in kids, when someone says something, crack back, throw it back their way. Even if your son doesn't think their mom is hot, I would make comments either way, just so they can be uncomfortable too and see how it feels. But for me and Andre, how I handled it, and maybe this will work for your son, 12, 13, he may have a phone yet, depending on, your choices as a mom. But when he gets a phone or even an Apple Watch, hell, buy his ass a beeper if he's that embarrassed of you being around. And I will call him when I'm there to pick him up, or I will call him when I'm at the basketball field or arriving to the football game. Hey, outside, come out, lot 4. Hey, I've been here waiting. Are you coming out? And that was our form of communication. He would just come to the car and get in. Because usually when they do get about 12 or 13, you don't have to walk in as much. It's not like a hold your lunchbox backpack kind of situation. These kids are older. Maybe develop a different form of communication with your son, that if you're picking him up or if you're dropping him off, you can just send him a text. I know that's kind of, I guess, non-confrontational to handle it because it depends on his personality. Andre has a very good voice and he's confrontational to a certain extent, like me. Like, we're very good at being nice, nasty. I can kill you with kindness, and that's kind of my skill set. But Haley is not like that. Haley does feel very openly about everyone's comments and what everyone says, and she can make it, allow her to shrink or feel small in a certain situation just based off of someone else's words. So your child more than I would know your child. But if your child is funny, charismatic, has a big personality, has a good voice at home, encourage him to be that way out in public. And if he's not, he's shy, more reserved, laid back, which is also good, because I love my Terrell. He is very much so shy and reserved, the opposite of Andre. Just encourage him to decipher if those are really his friends. If it's really getting to the point that your son just feels so uncomfortable and so embarrassed of you, then maybe those aren't his people. Maybe those aren't his friends. But baby, if you are thick and shapely, send me a picture. And I do not think you should become the frumpy mom for 12-year-old boys. A frumpy mom. That means that you'd have to be frumpy. That means he's only in 6th grade. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and at least 2 years of college. You'd have to be frumpy for the next 9 years to make your child happy. No, ma'am, don't do it. Encourage him to build his voice and to step up to his little perverted friends, or get him a cell phone and text his ass and tell him, come to the car because I'm out here. I love you. Hope that was helpful. Also, I've gone through it as well. It's just a learning opportunity. But I would give you 2 claps and tell you I'm proud of you, because if your son had the tenacity or the opportunity to speak to you about something that's making him uncomfortable, especially about your body and your shape, that lets me know that you guys do have a good and open relationship. And I would still cherish that. And yeah, they're all seasons. It's not forever. And I promise you it's puberty. As soon as little boys turn like 11 through like probably till they die, they just want someone to touch their penis. It's terrible, but that's how they operate. I have 3 in my house, and I will say a prayer for you and you pray for me. I love you. Hope that was helpful. They do. It's all they want. Just someone to touch their dingling. Why?
I understand it, but it's above me now.
Alrighty, before we switch into the next segment, which is It's Above Me, I'm going to throw out the podcast number. Again, if you want to text or call, leave a voicemail message. The number here to This Too Shall Pass podcast, our number is 321-300-6082. Again, 321-300-6082. Call us, text us, give us your feedback, your questions, and I'd love to hear from you. We are going to jump into It's Above Me. This is a section, if you're new here, where I just kind of express my heart, my feelings, and my thoughts about situations that I think are complete bullshit, that I let go to It's Above Me, to the daddy in the sky, and let him take it because I can't handle it down here. The first one that I have, because I have a running list of bullshit here. Let's go to... I've become the It's Above Me for me is trying to overly talk to your kids. Not going to do it anymore. I'm either going to bribe you with something that you have or something quick, or the answer is just no. I'm getting to the point with my kids, like I let you guys know in the beginning of this segment, that it's like the constant back and forth and banter, like we are homegirls in the 9th grade, 3rd period, is above me. I'm over it. So this is what I've been saying. Hey, sweep my floor. Oh, why I gotta sweep it, bruh? Why I gotta pick it up, bruh? You don't see nobody else in here, bruh? Give me your phone. That's where we are. So, arguing with kids back and forth, I'm going to ask you one time nicely. Second time is going to have an alternative for you, which means me removing something that I've paid for. And the third time is your choice to either do what mother asked you to do, which is a simple chore of sweeping the floor because I didn't drop all that fucking cereal down there. Or B, you can give me your phone and we can both move on. And I'm no longer doing short-term punishments with my kids. I just don't like to be angry all the time. I feel like to carry out a punishment with your kids, you got to like stay mad. Like we all got to just stay mad all the time for me to like not talk to you or for me to like keep your phone. I really don't want to live that way. So I just let them know up front, hey, I'm going to take your phone. Don't ask me for it for a week. But asking me every day and we're all whining and crying together about a choice that you made out loud not to sweep my floor, I'm not doing it. So I make it very clear. I lay out the rules, take the emotion out of it. Either sweep my floor or give me your phone. And if you give me your phone because you think you're cool or Billy Badass today, don't ask me for a week. And if they're older, it might be 2 weeks. And baby, I love to not even turn the phones off. Leave them on, parents, and put it in like a kitchen drawer that you don't use so it echoes because it's quiet, and let your kids hear that their friends are calling and texting and they can't answer because no one wanted to pick up that goddamn cereal off my floor. So that is my section today. That is my rant of It's Above Me. Stop arguing with these kids. They're not slow, stupid, or anything in between. They understand exactly what you're saying and they hear you. And you are a good parent. And it is okay to lay down the law or remove the things that you pay for if they are ungrateful. So we just made it through Easter. We need to be grateful and thankful. The grave is empty. God has risen, and God has placed these kids with you for you to raise and steward and push them out there in the world. So my only job is to put you out there with your best foot forward, and you need to learn how to work, and you need to learn how to clean up for yourself, and we need to learn to have respect and boundaries for each other. So yeah, I've stopped arguing with my kids. I do let them still give me their opinion, but when it goes on too much, I'm a quick hand me your phone or that Xbox controller. Works every time. Stop arguing with these kids. They hear you. They hear you. Just slide something away that you paid for. I promise you, they will sweep that floor. So again, if you're new here, I am Ariel. I love you all. I will see you next time. Again, this is This Too Shall Pass. Leave us a comment if you are listening to us everywhere where podcasts are streamed, a comment on YouTube, and I will see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.